think it's really interesting. The Egyptians were the first people to develop a calendar system with none of the technology we have today. So the pyramids are in perfect alignment with the cycles of the sun, the moon, the stars, the entire solar system. Now, it's interesting too because we're talking about the full moon, right? The etymology of moon is month. So that goes to show that the moon itself is a measurement system. Month by month, day by day. We're using the moon to measure how we actually put together time, keep record, historical events, and day-to-day scheduling. So what else could the sky be telling us up there? So if what happens up here affects what's down here, we can't possibly just have got the calendar from such a sophisticated universe. There has to be more. Full moon. This full moon is called the sturgeon moon. Sturgeon is a fish. It's a fishy, ancient fish. It's been around since the prehistoric era, outlived the dinosaurs. Fishy. We're talking about 208 million years old. Fishy. Maybe a little more. It symbolizes wisdom, harvest. But I think there's a deeper meaning. Why? Because we keep eating its eggs. We're eating its babies. Sturgeon fish offers us what is known as caviar, delicatessen, ate by, I don't know, if you want to call them the high class, the caviar. It goes from a minimum $8,000 to $14,000 per kilogram. Stuff has anti-aging properties along with other health benefits. And now, going against the natural order of something that we're not supposed to be doing, trying to find the next thing to make us live longer. So when it comes time to harvest, this obsessive behavior, it tends to lean in everything else that we do. Point of goes above the ecosystem into the economics of humans, and we actually start monetizing off of the downfall of what's keeping us alive. I'll give you an example. Right now, red gold, why can't it just be copper? It's copper. Copper is used as a conductor of electricity because it's the most efficient. Right now, we have a copper scarcity. So the damage that we've done from the environment, from all the carbon emissions, is making us die faster than what we're supposed to. We're like, hey, we're gonna actually work on restoring the organic order of the earth by going electric, decarbonizing everything. Now, the element that we need to actually do that is copper, and we're at a scarcity of it. So it seems that if we weren't so excessive with our economic output, then we wouldn't even have to decarbonize anything. There's a price for everything that we do. When it's harvest time, it seems that taking what's needed is always what's needed. If you take more than necessary, there comes a consequence with that. Because where do you have the extra space for more than necessary? It comes with something. If there is one person starving on this planet, it's because somebody somewhere has too much and they're not sharing. And that's not how we're supposed to be living. Civilization was built off of exchange of information from human to human, culture to culture, is exactly how we live, how we thrive and live longer, and how we survive in the most effective way. Nature favors minimum action for the maximum output because nature is easy, it flows. Ice caps start melting, atmosphere starts weakening, humans start getting sick when we start tampering. So by fixing or trying to fix our mess ups, we actually end up messing up more. So we have a copper scarcity. Okay, what else? Based on that, you got the stock market. Instead of doing like a quantum call on some kind of statistical data of how we can actually measure what's wrong with the environment and reverse it back to its principal health, we actually bet against the downfall of the elements that allow us to keep thriving in a successful, healthy environment. We actually take profit off of something called copper that has a scarcity, and there's people that make money based on the scarcity. Well, we better buy some, get rich. At the same time, we need the copper to decarbonize the environment because we want everything to go electric. Copper is the most powerful element used to conduct electricity. Yet there's a scarcity. Yet there's a group of people making money, derivatives of what they get from these statistical charts. When you die, you can't take that money anywhere. It's useless. You die rich, you know what you get? An expensive casket. So we can continue collecting money, but you know what? money doesn't mean shit when you're dead. You can't spend it when you're not living. System of measurement that needs to be put in place so we can harvest correctly, so we can manage our ecosystem and the economics of how humans function, and draw a line somewhere where they don't interfere with each other. Because the second we start monetizing off of nature, we're committing an ultimate sin. What do I mean by that? Well, how does it feel? Sin is more of a feeling, because even if you don't know if you're doing something that's wrong, because you've never done it before, or it's something new that you're unaware of, but ethically, you can feel somewhere in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit, there's a voice that says, hey, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. That's the sin, going against your intuition, that you know that's right. If I walk in your house right now, I push you out the way. I get in your laptop. I've never been in your house before. This is the first time. I knocked, you opened, I pushed you out the way, jumped on your couch, put my feet up. I said, you know what? You got Netflix here. I'm actually gonna charge people to use your Netflix. I'm just gonna take a small portion and you keep the rest. You're gonna look at me first off like I'm crazy, and you're gonna be hella confused. You're gonna be like, this isn't how this works. You entered my house and you're not really robbing me, but you're doing something worse. You're holding me and my belongings hostage and making that work for you in a selfish way that I did not ask for. See, we forget the earth is not our house. It's God's house, the universe's house, the all's house. We're just passing through. We don't own the earth. We don't own our bodies even. We came here at a time when everything was mathematically set up perfect. Everything's portioned out the way it was supposed to be. Then we started tampering with the organic nature of things. That's when things started messing up, especially when nuclear is active. Ice caps start melting down. People are getting sick from diseases they can't even pronounce. We start taking medications that have ingredients we don't even recognize because it's longer than a freaking alphabet. What are we putting in our bodies? Can't even read the shit. If anything was given to us in addition to us being born, meaning that we were born with everything we need because we're here. We came out with just the bare minimum, plugged up to an umbilical cord, getting nutrients. It's based on nutrition. We're not supposed to be eating off of what tastes good. Off of what tastes good seems to hurt us the most, right? It's the nutrition that we're after. But we started doing things like mixing up taste and nutrition and the ecosystem and economics and copper and the stock market. And we mix these things together in a weird way, trying to make it work for us. And it doesn't. Example, we push the envelope when it comes to sexuality, genetics, science in all aspects, and money, legal system, stereotypes, anything that you can think of. We push the limits. When do we stop? How do we measure what's appropriate? It's important. So scientists put together these two rats. Scientists it's interesting. We have a lot of progression in the medical field and a lot of discoveries because rats have been the sacrifices for that. So neurologically, they're identical or nearly identical to that of a human, how their brain works. I really think that if you experiment on rats, you can't take that same experiment and apply it to a human every time in every situation because it's just weird. I feel like those studies are fit for exterminators. Like take your rat, fishing statistical analysis to exterminators and see what they can do. Basically, scientists took two rats. They took an old rat and they took a young rat. They sewed them together. When the rats healed, they healed as one. Their organs joined. When the rats died, they cut the rats open. The organs in the old rat started getting younger. When they were healing together and their organs joined, the old rat was taking the youth out of the young rat. And the young rat started getting older, faster. So we took this study for whatever reason, because we're trying to live forever. So we're gonna operate on these rats and see what we can do about it, right? Way to go, scientists. And we said, hey, we're gonna try this company called Ambrosia LLC. They're not in business anymore. They started in Silicon Valley. There's several companies that are doing what they do now. They just didn't last. They were taking blood from young people, selling it to old people. Old people were putting young people's blood inside of their system, hoping to live longer, saying that there are incredible health benefits of putting young blood inside of the old bodies. And people were paying for it. Almost the same as the caviar, but we're talking about $8,000 to $16,000 a liter of blood. That's interesting. Now, we even have in Beverly Hills, there's a place in Beverly Hills that do like blood therapy. They'll cycle out the blood out of your system. They'll clean it with UV light. So they'll clean your blood with UV light, and then they'll cycle the blood back in your system. So we have all of these ways of trying to live longer that just don't make sense in any other era. Like there's no other era where people were so obsessed to create. Now, there's mad scientists and alchemists in all eras that have exceptional ways of thinking, and I'm sure that things like this have been attempted throughout history. But the more that we have advanced in technology, the more we have taken advantage of the ability to hack the human. Not even technology anymore. We're hacking ourselves. We're cleaning our blood with UV light. I think it's interesting to know, right? The Egyptians knew they were gonna die. They didn't have any fear about it. They believed they were coming back. Now, whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, they knew when their time was up to show that life was bigger than the moment. It's about the legacy. They were showing us that they were here. People of today want to always still be here. Concept of legacy, or thinking outside of the moment, what other people need around you. It's always what's in it for me and how can I make it last. The thinking in society has got us in such a split dichotomy in the worst kind of way, to the point that we kill each other. I don't know if I've ever seen another animal kill the same animal. I've never seen a monkey beat a monkey to death. I've never seen a lion eat a lion. I've never seen a hyena eat a hyena. I've never seen an eagle eat another eagle. I've never seen these things. I've never seen a shark eat a shark. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just never seen it. And it's not, if it ever does happen, it's not as common to where it's a concern and it threatens the organic way of life and the pattern as we know it set before we got here, because it just doesn't work that way. But us, we will kill you. Humans will go to war over a disagreement, and lives will be lost. Blood will pour red in the streets because of land, because of money, on anything. It's almost like we're looking for a way to release this pent-up aggression in the most non-productive way possible. Could it be we have a lot of excess energy in us that needs an outlet? Life is to transmute bad into good. If you believe bad and good, but ultimately evil to good. It can be done, it gets done all the time. We just stop focusing on what's better, what's ethical. If every single harvest we're taking more than what's needed, what's left over for the needy? Not saying that everybody has to be shown sympathy because they're not doing their part, but there should never be a case in the world where somebody is living in a fucking mansion with so many damn rooms in their house, they can't make use of them all. And somebody in the street sleeping in a corner with barely any clothes on in the rain, skin almost changing color because they haven't taken a shower in so long, smelling like urine. I'm kind of carrying this out. I live in downtown LA, so I see it all. It's ridiculous. Going back to the sturgeon fish. Fishing! Nature favors minimum effort for maximum output of organic behavior. that keeps and sustains life in the longest lasting order possible that doesn't interfere with the life of others. Humans come, and we're supposed to be the smartest because we can think, man, right? We pride ourselves on being the smartest. Yet there's no other animal on the earth that damages the earth like we do. I think we should change that. So I said I'll drop a project every full moon. Might be an album, might be an instrumental album, might be a music video. This time we have a music video. It's from the album I just dropped. Summer Moon is the album. Link is in the profile if you want to download it. It's only $1. Starting, I asked for $1 because everybody asks $1. You can donate as much as 1,000. There's no limit on what you can give. This music video is called Everything I'm Here For. That's the single off the album. It opens up intro, Everything I'm Here For. It's one of the most downloaded songs on the album, one of the most listened to songs on the album, and I'm gonna drop the music video today. It'll be tonight. And I wanted to let everybody know that because I said I'll drop something every full moon, that's what I'm dropping. Yeah. So for the sturgeon moon, harvest, enjoy the fruit of your labor, give a little.